Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to my show. This is all wardrobe gave me today. I asked for a new hat, and they're working on it. They'll say we'll check it. um, I I uh, I have this Bible, and it's a Gideon's, and a friend of mine picked it up for 25 cents in a garage sale. And I was going, well, aren't these free in the motel? And I don't think it's right. You can resell them. I don't know if that's allowed. This whole virus in China, I don't want to say a lot about it because most of the information is fake. It's fraudulent. And I think this is one of the few times the Chinese government might be speaking the truth. And I doused some numbers, how many died, and I'm getting pretty close to what the official figures are. And people are saying they're burning bodies in the crematoriums that they can't keep up. And I'll do it real quick. Okay, can you see that? Okay. Show me Spanish flu. Show me, let me get down a little lower. Here, I'll get a little lower. Okay, Spanish flu, please. Spanish flu. So it's a 10. Show me, that's a 10, all right? Which is highly fatal. If you get it, you're dead. 5, SARS. SARS, okay, I already know these ahead of time. That's a 5. And then swine flu, 1975, swine flu. And I'll just read it to you. I get like a 2, pretty weak. And where is this flu? Coronavirus, they call it. Coronavirus is about a 1. Okay, there's my 1. Show me Spanish flu again. Oh, can you see it? Show me Spanish flu. I always get the same, and when I douse it with the pendulums, I get the same. Everything's the same, and that's why I don't want to speak about it, because everything's over the top, and I don't think we'll never ever know the truth about what happened. But what I get, again, and I say all the alternative news sites out there are saying something else. They're saying it was released on purpose. I do get it's artificial. It was man-made, and it got out by accident. And it has a life cycle of sorts. So we just have to hang in there and go like another month and a half or something, and you're going to look back and you won't even remember this. It was just like everybody's getting hysterical, and they're doing some drastic things. No flights from China hardly, or what else are they doing? It did get rid of the protests in Hong Kong. And I saw a news article on China today, and they said, it says, China, okay, the West is overreacting to coronavirus with falsehoods. And then I went and doused it. I got that's 95% true. We are overreacting. And but it's like this is a crisis. We can't waste it. You know that phrase that everybody keeps saying. So I think there's opportunities. I don't know what, for example, the 12 military bases with empty barracks they're going to use for people who get infected with coronavirus. Well, that's like bogus. It's for something else. It's for another purpose. Now, so I just wanted to say that. I can't prove this like Kavanaugh, where I kept saying Kavanaugh was going to win his nomination. And I can prove that, after the fact, Kavanaugh gets elected. It's a clean vote. It's not like football that's rigged. But at least I can get a clean read on it. Remember, present tense dowsing is the most accurate. The water is here. The gold is here. That way's north. You'll find the body. Things like, present tense. Past tense is very accurate as well. Really, really about ancient, all that. For future, it gets, that's why I use probabilities in the future, because our timeline's jumping around. And we have to keep that in mind when we're looking at the future. If I get, most of my dreams are about what's coming up in my personal life, let's say. Last night was about someone else. I can't even figure it out. Sometimes, if you get a dream you can't figure out. I can see I got a reflection of blue here. Where is that coming from? I don't know. It makes me look like a spaceman. So, usually, if I douse the future, I like to get confirmation through dreams or other divinations or things like that. When I moved here to this place where I am, I've been here for a while, I had all sorts of paranormal like communications. Like, this is an important aspect of my life. And it talked back to me. I asked questions, and then I got questions. I got dreams a couple days later kind of answering me. It's kind of trippy. But those are the days we live in. You remember that Myers, Billy Myers? You don't. You guys are too young. But Billy Myers was in the 70s. I doubt he's a stand-up guy, all right? And he's been discredited by people who don't know how to discredit. Their average consciousness, but they're intellectually smart. I mean, these people are really smart, but they don't feel the information. And I never read anything, but I think he got some of the wrong people around him. I don't know. I mean, because he's been getting a bad rap. And basically his material was honest and correct. And this just came to me. I mean, I saw this a month ago, and I'm just reporting it to you. And I saw that this one guy was interviewing someone, and he said, "Oh, Billy Myers," and he's like a UFOologist. These people, that's all they do is consume this information. Time out. I'm going to go over here. Okay, of all the UFOs people cite and report, 60% are U.S. military or secret projects. 60%. All right? Well, what does that mean? I mean, 40% of the thousands is actual UFOs. So, yeah, you're right. Most of them can be explained. They're secret projects, things of that nature. And I thought it's interesting. Well, it leaves a lot. If they're coming through portals, you're not going to see them at all. And these portals open and close. And I feel many are opening and have been open recently because our world is changing, and they're helping us out by and large. And I do get, we're in a timeline that changes. And that's why the dowsing is a little tricky now, because I'm going, okay, what's the future here? But the timeline we're on is firming up. We're going in a certain way. Back to Billy Meier. He's okay, and he made some outstanding predictions. So anyway, this UFOologist has a podcast, and he said Billy Myers is debunked, and he said one of the gold diggers on the D. Martin show, which most of you don't know, nice looking blonde girl. She's still alive, apparently, and he said she was a UFO. She's an alien. And so this guy goes, well, that debunks it, because, what is an alien doing on the D. Martin show? And that's a good question. But the reality is, that's kind of the reality. I mean, ETs, you would call them extraterrestrial type people, are born here. And their birth is going to be odd. They probably might not even know themselves. And they're a completely hybrid being from another planet. They take in all this information, and their number one goal is to be an anchor. They're an anchor. They give out energy, and that allows for other civilizations to zero in on them in the time-space continuum, sort of. Like, where is it? Well, we have a beacon in 2020. Let's go there. We can get there. From their perspective, it's different. A lot of the beings are different. And she, when I douse, like, okay, D. Martin, well, he's not an alien. He's a human, all right? And then when you douse her, yeah, it goes, she's an ET. She is. I mean, she's not debunked. The guy looking at it can't comprehend that she's a beautiful human being. And she was a beautiful girl, and that's what they were. They're singers or something, I think they. But anyway, they have these things like that to debunk this person. But this person is, he's authentic. He's telling the truth as he sees the truth, all right? And he has a connection, and he has given out a lot of information. I haven't read it. I can go through it, just like the Bible. We can go to Psalms 50. And it's low vibration, but people like Psalms 50. I see Psalms 50s all the time. People are chanting it. They like chanting it. I don't know why they're focused on that. I'm getting it's nothing. And it's really odd. And then I go to 51 or 91, and they're like very powerful. Why are they energized with energy? It was like something came and just boom, just did it. And if you chant it, you'll get really high. I segue into this monk in Georgia. It was used to part of one of the republics of the Soviet Union. I believe there are 17 republics of the Soviet Union. And you had Armenia and Georgia. You go down there. And Georgia was, it's an Orthodox Christian country. And anyway, the Pope visited 2 years ago. And he went to they have a nice cathedral there. It looks like beautiful land. They have a river going through it. And the Orthodox Church in all these regions have bounced back and come on really strong, and they brought a new spirituality, and they're really odd in a way for a Western mind. It's different from our churches, and I really think Martin Luther was just a political person. Everything he did was political, and it wasn't a spiritual breakup. And external forces went in there and break it, and they're still trying to fracture the Christian churches, and they're working. So that's the world we live on. And I think indigenous way of living in Europe, like at the turn of the like 1100, when they're living out in the forest, living on the sea, fishing and things, those cultures, Christianity, Buddhism, some Native American things, they all kind of blend together. And as you know, Native American had a lot of influence on our Constitution, especially the Iroquois Confederation, So everybody contributes to who we are right now. And it's really unfortunate that they have this, misappropriation of culture. You're appropriating my culture or something, whatever, And most people have like 5 different bloodlines in them anyway. It's really an attack on the stability of the country, and they're destroying the family and things of that nature. I got to speed this all up. I'm talking too fast, but it got me to, this monk. I'm going to put his link below. It's 5 minutes long. The Pope comes and he sings the Our Father. Our Father is a super powerful prayer, like I told you. It's one of the prayers in the Bible that really stands out. And if you got something serious, do it 3 times. Say it 3 times. And say what you want on the top. Say the Our Father 3 times. Go read Psalms 51. And if it's really bad, read Revelations 22. Those are all real high. But the key is it gets back to the Our Father. And you put that in there and you'll get jazzed up. You'll get your shields up, your energy up. And if you can't sleep at night, say that 3 times in the middle of the night. And that should do it. You should do it 4 or 5 times. I had a few months ago, I was just getting attacked all over. I just said it like a mantra almost. I just went to sleep and everything was fine. This guy, he does it in Aramaic. He knows the language. He has a little history that's interesting that I found out. But he is a Georgian Orthodox Christian. All right. So I listen to everyone, and I'll put the link. Go listen to it. He's real trippy. And then he has a young girl next to him. It's part of his thing. And then he has people from behind him doing like an om, almost like he's going an om. It's very nice. It's very unique. It's a unique approach to the old Georgian chants. You remember those old chants of the church from the 12th century? They're pretty neat. And and then from that, I stumbled upon the Bulgarian Orthodox. I had to start getting into the Orthodox the last few. And boy, there's one where they go through all the Orthodox hymns and they just show all these pictures of these monks in Bulgarian Orthodoxy. And they're really interesting faces. You might want to just see the slideshow. You don't have to even listen to the music. You can turn it down and just look at the slideshow. Look at their eyes and things. I douse many of them, and they're very high. They're like living in a log cabin, and that's their monastery, and there's like 6 monks living there. And, they lived through the communist regime, and they came out on the other end still intact, still they're rebounding really strong, the Eastern Church, and they're bringing a unique perspective. I don't know all their views or anything like that, but I'm not talking about the priests. I'm talking about the monks who live out in the forest. Wait till they wear these black robes. And I really respect that. I really, anybody who's trying to, become one with the higher dimensions is what you're doing. Even though they have words, we all talk with words, and their words are very high. They mean, I don't know. I guess I'll say this is 17. I had an experience with Burmese monks. I was in California, and I was invited to this house, and you had to bake. So I had to bake something for these Burmese monks, and they're all very old. Most of them are like 60 to 80, I think. But when they came to the house, I was there first. We were sitting around waiting for them, and they showed up, and they had a monastery in this place in California. Anyway, they came in. You can feel it. It's just like the Bulgarian monks, and you can just feel these people are different. As they say, you meditate or pray so much, your brain changes molecularly and genetically. You're parked in a different place of the universe. And these guys came in, and I go, wow, what a treat. And they came, and he gave a talk. I forget what the talk was. I was just kind of like feeling them out about their ideas, their energy. And they're very, very... and then afterwards, we give them food we made. Now, Burmese, they have bowls. They call them forest monks. They have a bowl, and you put food in. Whatever the universe puts in that bowl, they eat. They will eat it. That's kind of that idea. Whatever God gives me in my life, I will eat it. If somebody comes up and asks money, I will give it if I can. That's sort of like, that's what the bowl represents. And I made a vegetarian lasagna. It was really good. I used all the good cheeses. It was really expensive. And I put a big scoop in, and you got to realize he's like 80 plus, and he actually brought up prune juice, and I go, well, he might not want to eat lasagna. But I could see his eyes bulge out. I went around to the different monks, and I gave them all some of my lasagna. And other people had other dishes, more traditional, but I wanted to be different. And I think it was all appreciated. And I was just, what I'm saying is, people who live these sequestered, remote kind of lifestyles, they get into a different rhythm of nature and living together, and they try to bring this brotherhood together, and they try to live to each other. And some of the Catholic orders have that structure too, and they're pretty good, living together. There's always personalities, and things like that. But I put the link below. Go listen to it. It was just, I think most of you will like it, and if you don't, that's fine. Okay, and then I said this flu will go away, and it's whatever they report, it's almost lies. I don't know what to say, and I can't prove it, so we'll just go for the ride and try to ride this out, and hopefully they don't start World War III in the middle of it. Thank you all. I'm sorry I talked so long, but there's really a lot of really neat information out there. And I hope you keep digging and keep praying and pray for your family, yourself. put up shields. Put up shields for protection. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.